Hey guys, back again for another one. We're against Borussia Mönchengladbach here at home. And I tell you, after that last match, we ended up being fined, I think it was only like 28,000 euros or something like that for too many tackles. We ended up with too many yellow cards. I think we had six in that last match. As a result, we do have another player who's been suspended, and Casemiro, of course, is suspended as well. I think we have somebody else. I think Ronaldo got himself suspended. So we have even fewer players on our bench, and it's kind of a wasteland out there, and we can't really get many more. We do have youth players we technically could bring up, but I'm not so certain that I actually want to do that. Our youth teams, by the way, are not necessarily doing so well, mostly because they're playing with grayed out players. And it is them here with the corner, but Figueroa able to get ahead onto that one. And there's another shot, and we're able to prevent that from getting in. And that looks like that's the end of that. But here's another free kick from a dangerous area. It hits our wall. It was Maradona who got in the way. And boy, I'm glad that we can count on him. Maradona is really starting to come into his own. And that's one of those things that sort of determines how much longer we go along with the save. I mean, we're not even halfway through the first season. Here comes Maradona. But if players like him can start doing really, really well, I mean, I'm going to want to see him continue to grow. Passes all the way back to De Vici, and we had nobody up there with him, Pogba now, and that was really foolish from Pogba. I'm not sure why he's doing that. We have the ball in a good area, and you can't really hit that shot, so why are you taking it? Figueroa to Monseglio. I know he's a segundo volante, but I mean, you're supposed to like at least try to work something up forward, right? Here's Giggs. Giggs overplayed, of course, too much game time over to Eriksson, and Law ends up falling over instead of hitting the ball. And that's the end of that attempt. Here is the corner. He goes forward, far corner, looking for Figueroa, and doesn't quite get it. And so we'll take another look at this one. Giggs had the ball in really, really good position. There was a pass over to Eriksson, knocked that forward, looking for Law, and ended up with Pogba again. I don't know how many shots Pogba has taken without having anything go through. But he seems to be hexed here. Eriksson knocks this forward, looking for Monseglio, can't find him. It's De Vici who wins it over to Maradona in the back, knocks it over to Eriksson. Eriksson gets around a tackle, gets around another tackle from the same guy, and now we've given up possession. So it was a good idea, but we had too many players, I think, playing far back, waiting for Eriksson, hoping that he would score by himself. Eriksson goes back and wins that by himself to Pogba to Maradona, who passes forward for Law, and he scores. Dennis Law is always going to hit that. And that makes it 1-0 for Manchester United. And that's a little bit more like it. We have the lead here against a team. Mönchengladbach are not playing particularly well. I'm not sure if it's because they are lacking in legendary players or what exactly the problem is with them, but they're not playing up to our standard. That is sure. That is for certain. So here we are knocking this back to Giggs. Over to Fernandez. Eriksson ends up winning this, and Fernandez can't quite get around onto that ball. And Monseglio able to win this in midfield over to De Vici. Down to Giggs again, over to Eriksson. Eriksson lumps this forward, and it's just doesn't have enough English on it. But here's Pogba winning it. Now he's going to take a shot, and he does. As I told you, I knew exactly what's going to happen. I mean, again, I'm not quite sure why he's doing that. Why are you taking a shot from so far out? You have teammates. You should use your teammates instead of trying to do everything alone. And this is a problem, and Leviashin fortunately is able to punch that out. I say this is a problem, and I mean, it's not Pogba didn't have anything to do with that last sequence, but the problem is that we have the ball in a good position, we want to score a goal, and instead of doing something positive, you're taking a shot from way out there that's a real low percentage shot. Maradona wins this one, speaking of a high percentage player, and then he's obstructed, and there's no call. I'm kind of surprised that there's no call on that. Giggs is injured, and he's going to come off. I think we're going to take him off right now because I worry about him aggravating whatever the injury is. Do we have to do this? Let's put Mount on. We're going to put Mason Mount on. I don't want to put Bauer on. That would be a bad idea. We're going to try to keep Bauer off for a little while. I just had a good talking to with him, telling him that he needs to play better. Dennis Law is unfortunate to have that shot blocked, and Sancho wins it back again. So we'll take another look at this replay. Eriksson had it over to Pogba, and it was forward to Law, who was almost one-on-one, not quite. He wasn't quite that far forward, I guess. But it was a good attempt by him, and it required a very good block. And there's the free kick over to Figueroa, who heads that one in, and it's 2-0 Manchester United. That's a little bit more like it. And I think that's what you would expect for a team like this, a team of this stature with this kind of personnel. But yeah, Maradona is awesome. Figueroa is awesome. Now, the one that we need to get back going again is Pele, who's still going to be injured for a couple more days. He'll be around, I think, tomorrow. We'll be able to start him. And hopefully he gets that Pele magic going, because he definitely did not have that at the beginning of the season. And he was a leading scorer for a while, but just not doing what I expect him to do. Here's Sancho. He is dispossessed and then wins it back again, passes it over to Eriksen, who takes a shot from range, and that's just wide. That's the way the Pogba should be shooting, right? I mean, that's the sort of shot you want to kick out, because nobody can get to it when it's low like that. He had the keeper way off balance. Unfortunately, it was just wide of the goal. And Monseglio with a dangerous, almost a 2-footed tackle. And Simonson ends up with the shot on goal that's saved right away by Lev Yashin. It's almost like Lev knows exactly where the ball's going and who's going to shoot it. Nets knocks this forward, and Yashin goes over and grabs it. And so that's the end of that attacking attempt. That was pretty dangerous job there by us on defense, and a lot of knocking this guy Wolf around. He was knocked down twice, and no foul was called. So, yeah, I guess you can say we're getting stuck in. We're more sticking our feet onto their legs is what it's all about. And Fernandez can't quite get this over with the keeper way out of position. That's a little frustrating, isn't it? So this is another great pass by Maradona, and Fernandez, I guess, is onside, and he just can't get that over. That's the thing. And Pogba, with a really, really poor shot, he kicks it right at his own player, who was turned around for some reason. I don't understand what was going on there. Monseglio over to Maradona, and that's kind of what the game is. Maradona is really playing as a playmaker. And that was a good shot there by, I think it was Edwards, but that ended up being deflected. And so we have to see if we can't win the ball back. Monseglio does not win it. And it is won, though, in the back. De Vici now with it over to whoever that was. Was that Maradona? Was that Monseglio? I can't see. Lev Yashin ends up saving it here in the end. And so it is. So we're doing okay. I mean, even Mason Mounts is doing okay, playing in a really unfamiliar position. And we finally made it here to halftime. So kind of a long first half for only 2 goals scored. And we're doing all right. I'm pleased with what's happening. Let's keep it up. Let's try to get a couple more. It'd be nice to get a big victory, even despite having a disadvantage of numbers. We are definitely a better team than they are. So we should have that superiority shown out in our performance. Pogba goes back to win this one over to Sancho. Sancho to Eriksen. And it's taken away too easily. Eriksen just not quite able to do what he needs to do there. Wolf ends up winning this again over to Honorat. I tell you, Wolf has been sort of the object, the target for a lot of our defense. He's been down a lot. Maradona, good pass to Law to Fernandez, and that should have been a goal. How did he miss that? What's his excuse for that one? Maradona here slows it up, hits Law with a beautiful pass to Fernandez. This is the second time Fernandez has had a chance like this in this game, and he just doesn't know where the goal is. So it's still 2-0 for United. We still have a lot of time, but the problem is that we have a lot of time. Jadon Sancho having a poor match. I could take him off. Who do I put on? Fernandez can't quite get a hold of that one. It's to Monseglio to De Vici. Back to Monseglio. Down to Figueroa. Figueroa up to Pogba. Down to Sancho. Over to Law. And he misses. How did he miss that one? So we've had, I think that's 3 shots now that we've had in this match that should have gone in. And you're like, how are you not scoring this? I mean, I don't know, whatever. But, you know, a player of this caliber should be able to score with no defenders around him, right? Maybe it's the angle. I don't know. Maybe it's some sort of hex that the keeper cast on them. I just don't know. Sancho forward to Law, down to Maradona. Maradona, is he onside is the question, and that is knocked up for a corner. I guess he was onside because there was no flag up. Here's Maradona again, who's turning into our superstar. And ends up back to De Vici, over to Sancho, Monseglio, Law, Figueroa, Sancho, and then to Monseglio. And there's Law with it again to Eriksen, over to De Vici, up to Mount. Mount moves it forward. He looks pretty sure of himself for somebody who's never played that position before, and it's a pass to Law, and it requires a good save. Mount looks like he knows exactly what to do. In fact, he's making me think, why am I playing anybody at their assigned positions? I should just play guys wherever I want it. Put the 11 biggest names out there wherever we want to put them and just sort of watch and see what happens. I mean, that was really, really good by Mason Mount. We're having a hard time having our actual wingers learn how to play like that. Devici has the ball taken away from him, but Mount goes and wins it over to Pogba, and he passes up to Law, and there's a shot, and that is saved. It requires another good save by their keeper. So, okay, we have some time left. Here's Figueroa to Monseglio. Down to Figueroa again. Sancho. Maradona wins it after the tackle. And it's over there to Fernandez. Fernandez's header is high. Manchester United, Bayern Munich are coming in for Fernandez, by the way. I've seen a lot of email traffic about this. There's been a lot of articles about it. They're coming in with an offer of about 60 million or so. And so, we'll see if it actually comes in or not. If it does, I'm tempted to sell, even though he's an excellent player. And the reason why is because of the financial damage I've done to the club. So we might end up selling him and then buying somebody, probably another big name, putting ourselves in debt just for fun. Centering pass by Fernandez doesn't quite work, and Monseglio has been sent off. So we've had 2 games in a row now where players have been sent off, and that's a little bit ridiculous. So, all right, we'll see what we can do here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take Maradona off, and we're going to... Yeah, we're going to put... okay, fine. We'll put Bauer in. Bauer will come back here. You can be the next guy. No. There we go. All right, we want Devici in the center there, and we will just have 2 of these shadow strikers. And we'll see how we do from there. The next one we're going to take off is Fernandez. We're going to put Bobby Charlton on and sort of see what happens. So limited bench, limited supply. Mount over to Bauer. Back to Devici. Bauer. Over to Devici again. This is a great highlight, isn't it? Mount over to Charlton. That's a little bit better. And there's a pass back to Eriksen over to Pogba, who scores. That's finally his first goal of the season. Paul Pogba finally shows that he can score, and it's 3-0 for United against the run of play and with only 10 men. So 3-0 now the score. This was pretty well set up. The beginning, it looked like nothing. Charlton, though, gets the defense out of position. Eriksen looks over, and here comes Pogba doing the Segundo Volante role. And see, when you get a little bit closer, son, then you can score. 15 minutes left in this match, and that's exactly what we wanted to see. Pogba's going to be very happy about that, and we have to just see them off until the very end. So we go to a slightly more defensive setup, and we end up scoring anyway. Itakura is just going to stand there. Fine. We'll let him just stand there. You can wait out the rest of the time. I mean, that's perfectly fine for us. 3-0 the lead, and their header's up and over. Okay, we'll take that. A couple more minutes left in this one. 4 minutes of added time. We'll get through this fine. I don't think anybody's going to collapse on me. Bobby Charlton can't quite get that one forward, and this is going to be the end of the match right here. We have won this one 3-0. It's been a pretty good performance and involved a couple of nice-looking goals. I tell you, Maradona, though, especially, is coming into his own. We dominated XG, we dominated possession, we dominated everything. This is the way that we should be playing, and we did it even with a guy sent off. So you can see how this works here. Hope you enjoy this match, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow with another one. Bye-bye.